Alright, thank you all for waiting. He had like a whole story to tell me. He's been playing Pokemon, one of the Pokemon games, and he's beaten him many times. He's even attempted his own like Nuzlocke runs, like he watches Pokemon YouTubers and stuff like that. And he was like, Dad, I'm gonna do a run where I can only use grass Pokemon this time. I'm like, okay, good luck. He starts up the game, in 2 seconds, he finds like a shiny Lechonk. And he comes in, he's like, Dad, slight change to the rules. I'm allowed to use shiny Lechonk. And I was like, okay. He's like, but since he's not grass, I'm going to terrasilize it so he can turn into a grass type when I need him to be a grass type. And I'm like, that sounds fair within the rules, yes. And he's like, all right. So he leaves the room and he comes back a minute later and he's like, all right, so Lechonk sucks. So I was like, oh, well, I guess he's got to go back in the box. He was so excited to get this shiny pig. He changed the rules for his playthrough, but then he was like, this isn't even worth breaking the rules for. He's like, you know, I'm just gonna put him in Pokemon Home and get credit on my my home for shiny Lechonk. I used to love Pokemon.
Finished all legendary trinkets tonight by crafting coalescence. Thanks for the guides.
You're very welcome. I'm glad to hear that they're still useful for people. I truly mean that. It's really cool when you make something, you know, be it, in my case, a video, maybe for someone else to be art or something, and then someone years later is like, hey, just appreciated that thing you did a few years ago. And you're like, really? That's awesome. Those big guys with the rocks hurt. I understood shiny and got lost. So the Terrasilize was probably the part you didn't recognize. They added this thing in Poke. So every gen they have a new thing. Like there's Mega Evolve, there's Dynamax. Terrasilize is like, to make it really simple. In a fight, you can temporarily change the type of a Pokemon. That's what it is. So imagine, like, you play a Charizard, they play a Blastoise, you're weak to the Blastoise, and you temporarily change to be Grass type or something, so that then you have a super effective move against him before he melts you, or something like that. And it also, I'm gonna be honest here, it looks really ugly. Hold on, Pokemon Terrasilize. Where... Hold on, I just pulled up some random video. I'm hoping it'll just show it. Okay, I don't know who this is. That's what it looks like. They literally, they get a giant decoration on top of their head for whatever type they're turning into. It just showed it for a second. One sec. And then there's like crystal, and then the crystal breaks, and you see, it looked like it had like a giant engagement ring on its head. There's very little of it. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I actually barely understand the difference between Dynamaxing and Mega Evolving. Basically, in both of them, your Pokemon gets juiced for like 5 turns or something. Like, it just gets insanely strong for 5 turns. But in Dynamaxing, they like become the size of a skyscraper for 5 turns. And then for Mega Evolving, they just change into like a strong... It's Digimon. They basically turn into a better version of themselves for like 5 turns. Like Mega Evolving Blastoise, he gets more guns. Mega Evolving Charizard, he becomes like a giant black dragon with bigger fire. Mega Evolve his entire fight. Oh, you just taught me something new, though. But then after the fight, whether they Mega Evolved or Dynamax, they change back to normal. Oh, I need to change directions. I just noticed the marker. Wait, the marker's coming toward me. What's going on? Speaking of Pokemon, Red and Green are going to be 28 on this coming Tuesday. Oh boy. I'm as old as those games. That's fine. I'm older than Google. In June, will you return to Elden Ring for the DLC? I still haven't watched the trailer for that. Maybe. Maybe. I enjoyed Elden Ring. But after I beat the story, I didn't play it for like another hour. Like I played it for less than an additional hour and then I stopped. I enjoyed it enough to finish the game. I didn't enjoy it so much I wanted to keep playing it. Does that make sense? So I'm definitely like, oh cool, but I'm not like woo, like, you know, the diehard fans. I can't claim that level of energy. As a keyboard and mouse player, the controls were especially jank. I'm not looking forward to playing the controls again. I'll have to relearn the jank. But I probably will. Play with Wacom tablet and pen, it's better. Oh my goodness. I'm like super thirsty right now. It's funny, I got the emote, the Mukluk sip emote of my minion sipping like out of a Coke can with a straw. And I just thought it looked better that way. And at that point in my life, I had never drank from a can with a straw before. I would just drink from it normally. And then after I like messed up my tooth and I had to get that root canal, and then I was like, you know, I had a sensitive mouth for a few days. I was drinking with a straw so that I was like, it was just so that just like soda would go past the teeth and not touch the teeth. But then I could still have soda, but it wasn't bad for my teeth that way. And then I was just like, I'm just gonna keep drinking like this. It's better for the teeth anyway. And now I've matched the emote. Muck's the Sylvari and a Norn now. Big Sylvari. Muck, high star! Muck, high star! Happy B-Day. Thanks, Star! How's your dentist appointment? It was fine. Yo, I had a suffering from success moment. Alright, so after the root canal that most of y'all remember I had just like a month ago, that was the first time in my life I'd ever had a root canal. And I was like, alright, I obviously don't want this to happen again. I slipped up. I need to make sure. I was still brushing every day, but I apparently wasn't doing a perfect job of it because I had that happen. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go really hard on brushing and making sure I floss every single night, stuff like that. So I did that. Went in today, and they're like, yeah, you've got 3 teeth where your gums have like recessed. Like, how can I explain this without being nasty? Okay, imagine my fingertips are teeth, and this is your gums. Okay, the gums were like down a little bit, so more of the tooth was visible. Like some of the root of the tooth was visible. I was in no pain, no nerves are exposed, but the gum had receded a little bit. And they're like, yeah, so this happened. Yeah, as you can see right here, you see how there's way more of this tooth visible than the one next to it? I'm like, yeah, how does that happen? And they're like, well, do you use electronic toothbrush or manual one? And I was like, currently a manual. I've used electronic before, it died, and I just replaced it with a manual. And they're like, all right, you're brushing way too hard. And I was like, are you serious? Like, I started brushing harder on purpose to try to keep my mouth cleaner. And they're like, yeah, you're brushing way too hard and grinding your gums back. And I'm like, I can't win. So now I'm too good at brushing. I'm too powerful. And I'm hurting myself in the other direction. So they're like, look, just get an electronic toothbrush. Electric toothbrush. And that way, you're not the one. I'm like, all right. So yeah, I've gone completely to the other side of the spectrum of teeth health. There was one really good thing that they said about
the undead are prideful.
Hold on a sec. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Actually, you know what? I don't need to show it to you. I'll just describe it. On the bottom row of teeth, okay, I have a small wire on the back of the bottom row. It's touching like the front 4 or 6 teeth or something like that. It's a retainer that they left in there when I had braces when I was a teen, which was 20 friggin' years ago or something like that. I don't know. Math is hard. And they went in there and they looked at it and they're like, oh, how many times has this fallen out? And I was like, never. And they're like, wow, that's shocking. And then like the next nurse comes in, oh, you've got a retainer. Yeah. How many times has it fallen out? Never. Why are you all asking me this? And they're like, yeah, we don't do them like this anymore. This is archaic, dated, ancient technology. And I was like, great. And she looked at it. She's like, wow, yours is really clean. And I'm like, thanks. And she's like, yeah, we've had some guys come in here before and we couldn't even see the wire. And the middle image of that is horrifying to me. I don't know about to y'all. But just because it's a visible wire on the back, and I'm just mad like they had so much, I don't know, plaque or something built up on it that the wire was not visible. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah. And like they couldn't even see it. And they're like, yours, like, we can see everything. They said the cement is degraded on one, like it wasn't entirely connected to one tooth, but it was like totally fine. But they were like, yeah, yours is fine. I'm like, that's really weird. And they're like, do you have to spend a lot of time cleaning it? I'm like, no, it's just, if I get food stuck in it, I feel it. And then I make sure to just like, if this is a toothbrush, and then it gets it and it knocks the food out. Like anytime I feel something in there, it bothers me, and I brush it and make sure to dislodge it. If I eat biscuits, it gums it up, and then I have to brush right after. But I was just like shocked to hear that they had someone that just let it build up to the point that they had 1 giga tooth. I was like, what? That is insane. Overgrowth max. Is there an old filter to use as a reference for Muck old emote? I don't know, maybe in the future. He said it's a trap.
You should have seen this coming. You know how the Emperor operates. He would not simply let you go.
What?
Yes. And now your friend will watch, frozen in magic.
Oh, there's the Emperor.
While the Emperor decides your fate.
We trusted you, Yulia.
I've heard of your power. Let's see how you face.
Oh, she's already dead. I was still summoning my plants, Yulia. Admiral Harton. Oh, it's like the last few bosses all at once. 50 stacks of poison, by the way. A little tricky because I can't use movement skills while in this form. The wood, it's too girthy, too slow.
Now's our chance. Quick, use Herot's lance.
Whose side are you on?
You pathetic human mistake. You think
I mean, Mom said I was a happy little accident.
you think you can?
Enough! Can't use the lance! The lance of Herot. Where is it? Quickly! You need to get out of here!
She's like, use the lance. And I'm like, what lance? What are you talking about? The Might of Gods, Chapter 7. Divine Era, -12. Alright, so for anyone trying to keep up with the story, we just went back in time about 1,000 years. But the Immortal Emperor is immortal. He might have had... This might have been his castle then? I don't know. Oh wow, I had a bunch of points. Increased companion melee attack speed. That could synergize really well with the fact that I have 4 scorpions applying poison when they attack. Endurance threshold. Cry of the Lynx. Increase crit strike. Let's see. When you use a companion ability, you and your companions are granted Aspect of the Lynx for a duration, which gives you a 100% crit strike chance and a 100% increased stun chance. That's pretty insane, but I can't activate those abilities when I'm in Sylvan form, so I wouldn't be using this much. Let's go for increased melee attack speed, which is basically more poisons for the boys. How many monitors are in your streaming setup? 3.
Wait, I recognize these mountains. I must hurry.
I'm using 3. Hang on. I'll take you on a magic carpet ride here. Alright. This cord's not terribly long, so this is going to be a bit janky. Okay, so monitor to my right, there's the chats, there's YouTube, there's Twitch. Hi guys! Monitor straight in front of me is the game, and there's one monitor up above it, which has my streaming software, and a note, and that's totally not Raid Shadow Legends in the corner, just sitting there. That's it. And then my browser is over here to the right as well, so if I need to like pull up a YouTube video or something, that's over to the right. I could totally do it with 2. I could totally stream with 2. Just have the stream preview on one and have the stream preview and chat on one, and then have the game on the other. If I had to stream with 1 for some reason, I would really hate it. Where's Chip? He did a drive-by earlier. I'm not sure if he's in here right now. If he is in here, he's hiding somewhere. Thank you, good sir. Sure. However, I do know, for example, if you're like a console streamer, you know, monitors aren't always an option. So I know many people who stream console games, and then they just have like their phone next to them with the chat on their phone. Now, I've never done that, but I do know people that do that. The holes in the ground make me nervous. I keep imagining spikes underneath.
No wood, no wood.
The giant firebird dog thing. It said flame griffin, but I didn't see wings. Wow, that's very long range. Lol. Oh my god, how do I get Haste Shrine permanently? That was great. Are you Beastmaster? Master. Yeah, Beastmaster first, and then Druid second. I did Beast Mastery first because of the Mastery bonus gives you an additional companion. And I wanted that more than the Druid bonus, which was, what was it? It was 70% damage reduction for 2 seconds after leaving a shapeshift. I was like, okay. Also, hi. Hi! Did you try Falconer in your off time? Yes, I have a level 29 Falconer, I think. I've been playing it off stream. It's kind of cool. Pros and cons. But it's fun. Reminds me of playing the Oathkeeper Summoner in Grim Dawn. In that one, you run around and you've got these 2 immortal angel things that cannot be hurt. So everything is still trying to kill you, but if you can stay alive, they will slowly kill everything on the screen. Kind of feels like that with the Falcon. My ARPG reflexes twitch with the loot Mukluk is behind. Yeah, I've just been postponing on a town trip. Let's see. Town portal. Oh wait, if I want to use a shield. Well, if I put the shield away, I can get a lot more spell damage. Hang on. Where's my spell zone? Increased spell damage, 26%. Where's just spell damage?
Impossible.
It says increased spell damage 26%. That has 11 spell damage. That's 15%. Is it not on the sheet anywhere? So the summons all scale with spell, and this has a lot more spell damage on it. So I think this would make them stronger. Might be time to put the shield away. I could keep it in storage just in case. New helmet. %14% increased mana regen for 4 seconds when you use a potion. It's oddly specific. Alright.
Take care.
Alright, let's try staff for a while. And just in case I regret this, let's put my old gear right there. Oh my god. They respawned while I was gone. Whoa. If you blinked, you missed it. My life just went to 10%, and then I chugged a potion and got hit with a good berry at the same time, which shot me back to 100. So I was like 100, 10, 100. Ah, can't click on it. I'm just gonna let the summons finish this off.
Impossible.
Dear man. Okay. Boop. I don't even know who friend or foe is. Vines, figure it out for me. Oh. Yo, cutscene. Oh, it's a pretty bird.